Welcome back everyone, I hope you're all doing great. If you're looking for a durable, waterproof winter boot, then this video might be for you, because today we're going to be looking at the Crockett Jones Snowdon Boot. Coming up. So I hope you're really enjoying the Crockett Jones content lately. There's a lot of new stuff coming up and coming in, so it's a chance for me to shoot some videos before I ship everything and familiarize myself with new leathers, new constructions and things like that. So today, as I mentioned, we're going to be looking at this lovely boot by Crockett Jones. It's called the Snowdon, and the reason that I chose to shoot a video about it is because it is on a last that I hadn't seen before, and it will be interesting to discuss, as well as a type of boot that I don't really wear myself, or I don't find generally aesthetically pleasing, but it is definitely what you would call a tank. Also, it has a construction that I haven't featured before in the channel, and I haven't had much experience personally handling it. It's called Veldschoen, I think that's how you pronounce it, and we will talk about it as well as sizing, availability, and generally the properties of this leather and this boot in the follow-up section. All right, let's discuss the Snowdon then. So what we have here is pretty much, this is a very large boot. This is a plain toe derby jumper boot, or field boot you would say. And it has what is called like a waxy dark oak color. So you would say that this is a bit more like a little bit like a chestnut, or a lighter shade of chestnut. And this leather is what you often refer to as pull-up leather. So pretty much if you pinch it, it feels like it's pulling up. And this is a leather that will take a scuff and scratch really easily, and patina very, very easily. So I think they treat it with like hot waxes, so that's why you can refer to it as Waxy Calf, but I think in essence this is pull-up leather. And it is quite durable and will take a beating. As far as the design, I mean, you've got 4 eyelets here, and you've got 5 speed hooks, so it sits a little higher up on your leg. It reminds me, the design here, you can see that it's very reminiscent of the Edward Green Galway, which is a very interesting choice. This is the 2 to 8 last, which Crockett Jones refers to as medium round, and honestly it's quite round. It's the first time I actually see this, and you can see how it looks like from the bottom, as well as this really chunky, really sturdy, super strong and very thick rubber sole, commando sole. And overall the details are pretty good. There is a pretty large pull tab on the back, but it doesn't, protrude and go up here, so on the shaft, so there's no problem with your pads getting stuck. Very interestingly, on the right shoe, you can see that there is a small leaflet from Crockett Jones that discusses the Veldschoen Construction, which we're going to talk about. So what this construction is pretty much like the leather. You have the welt, that's the strip pretty much across the shoe, and then you fold the leather above the welt and outwards. So usually it is the other way around. The leather folds inside, and then you stitch the welt on the top. But this time you fold not only the leather outside, but the welt underneath it as well. So what this means is that if water drops on this, it will pretty much just follow the fold and just drop off the shoe. So in essence, this is one of the most waterproof constructions that you will find. And that's the point of this boot, pretty much. Very small, interesting details are that inside the lining there is some markings that are handwritten. It's always appreciated. And overall stitching is excellent across the board and the top of the shoe, and on the back seam and everything. Let's check the other boot, it's a bit easier. The welt is fine. I mean, there's no... On the left shoe, the finish is good. There's nothing that I would say is problematic or inconsistent. There was something in the right shoe though that's very, very minor, very difficult to show. It's this area here. It's not finished perfectly fine. It's not exactly dented, but I mean, it is what it is. And one other one here on the back of the heel. It's very difficult to show you, but it feels a bit like there is a bit some extra glue or extra rubber on the top. Overall, very solid boots. Very solid design, and I mean the quality that you would expect from Crockett Jones and a shoe that costs as much as this. Very important to talk about the leather before we move on to the sizing and availability is that the leather, as I said, it's called pull-up. It's a very casual leather that will develop character. So if you see things like already crease marks or like generally markings that appear that the leather is not like, ooh, it's not so smooth or it's not perfect, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be. So don't be alarmed that, oh, I got a new boot and look, it's creasing already here or the leather is not perfect. This is how it's supposed to be, and this is part of the charm of this leather. So let's move on. So that was the close-up. I hope you liked it and you found it interesting. I certainly did. The design was quite interesting because while it is very chunky and durable, it does take inspiration from the Edward Green Galway design, definitely. It is not, as I said, it is not the type of boot or shoe that I usually wear because I like a bit more dressy stuff. But from research and generally the kind of people that will buy this or are interested in this want a leather that will develop, excellent patina very quick, will take a scratch and will take a beating and they will keep it for years. I remember reading a story about one of the soldiers that every time in deployment, this is the type of boot that he would take with him. So that's certainly interesting. Now, when it comes to sizing, so this, as we said, is in the 2 to 8 last. Crockett Jones says that this is medium round last and that it's aesthetically on the toe like, the 325, for example. I don't think so. This is quite a round last, as I said, and very casual, very structured on the top. It will be, it is a winter boot, so it is it's constructed to feel comfortable and spacious, especially at the toe area, where it's a problematic area for many. So they do call it true to size, and that's what I would also advise you to do. Just be aware that there will be some space on the front, and then again, it's a winter boot. You are going to want to wear it with thicker winter socks. So bear that in mind when you choose this. It's not just a snug fit. You want a good, comfortable fit. And now about the pricing. This would cost you, I would say, between $650 and $700 US, depending on the retailer. It's not really a boot that is publicly available. Like you will not really find it in retailers. Here and there, maybe. Some of us will carry a few sizes. For example, if you want this from the Noble Shoe, you just send me an email at info@thenobleshoe. I will leave everything down in the description. And I will let you know if I have your size. But the main way to get this boot is through the Crockett Jones official website. And it is actually going to cost you quite a bit. It should cost you about between $800 and $900, I would say. Maybe a little more. So now that you're aware of how much it costs and how it fits, should you buy it? We've already discussed this, pretty much what we said. The construction is excellent, and if you're in an area where there is heavy rain or you have to go through mud and water and you need something that is waterproof, but also that you don't want something that is like smooth calf that you will keep it pristine and scratch free. No, this is not for you. This is for the person that likes those US style combat boots, but taken to the next level. I think actually that this boot would be excellent if it had a shearling lining. But that's it for the Crockett Jones Snowdon. I would really like to know what you think about it, because this was a new experience for me, both in the construction and the last, and the style in general. So it was very, very interesting to analyze this and see like, do I like it? How will the others react? So yes, please leave a comment down below with your thoughts, and if you like the video, please leave a thumbs up and tell me what I can improve maybe. And if you're new to the channel, I have much more content coming up from different brands, and I hope we're going to have a great shoe 2021. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, I would really appreciate it, and stay tuned for 30 more seconds for the bad joke of the week. So did you hear about the farmer that won the prize? They said he was outstanding in his field. And this outstanding joke came from Saeed. So thank you very much for your contribution. Of course, if you have a horrible joke, please leave it down in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.